A group linked to al-Qaeda is claiming responsibility for two suicide bomb attacks near the Iranian embassy in Beirut. An Iranian diplomat was one of the 23 people killed. Observers say the incident is a sign Syria's civil war is spilling over into Lebanon. Well, the attack happened in the neighbourhood of Jnah, which is where we'll find Al Jazeera's Zeina Khodr. Zeina, it's almost 24 hours now since those attacks took place. What exactly happened?
Well, yes, we are at the site of the explosion. You can see the damage behind me, massive explosions, really. We're getting more details on what exactly happened in the early hours of Tuesday. We're going to try to show you. We're going to zoom in, and you can actually see the wall of the embassy, a fortified wall. And the main gate is at that tower. I'm not sure if you can see that. What happened was a suicide bomber approached the gate. It seems, and this is the information we're getting, the guards opened fire. And then the first suicide bomber blew himself up. There was another suicide bomber who was in a car parked right behind that truck. I'm not sure if you can actually see that pickup truck. Now, it seems what the plan was, after the first suicide bomber detonates himself, the second bomber will drive the car, will drive the vehicle inside the embassy compound. But what happened was, after the first bombing, the driver of the pickup truck panicked. He left his car, so the explosives-ridden vehicle was not able to enter the embassy. This is a very sophisticated attack. It's actually a tactic we have seen not in Lebanon, but in places like Afghanistan. They use suicide bombers to blow up the main gate, and then others manage to penetrate the building. And this is why people are worried, because yes, this is not the first bombing in Lebanon. There were car bombings in August. Many civilians were killed, but not a suicide bomber. It will be very, very difficult to stop a suicide bomber. And the bombings really were just minutes apart. After the first bombing, people rushed to the scene, and that's why we had such a high number of casualties. So there's a lot of fear, really. People are worried. A lot of intelligence information being circulated in Lebanon that there are even more vehicles, explosive-ridden vehicles in the country. We know that an al-Qaeda-linked group claimed responsibility. It is a group which is considered the Lebanon branch of al-Qaeda. If I can just show you the residential building right next to the embassy compound, this is where the families of the Iranian diplomats live. We also have other information that the ambassador, the Iranian ambassador who was inside the compound at the time of the explosion, was getting ready to leave the compound. We do know that the ambassador escaped unharmed, but the cultural attaché was killed with a number of guards who were standing at the gate.
Zeina, just before you go, incredible pictures there of the morning after scene. We were just looking there at a close group of people, a couple of women standing there. Any idea what they're doing?
Yes. Well, this woman, if you can see her, she's crying. She lost her husband in the bombing yesterday. She came to the bomb site. She laid a wreath of flowers. People really are in shock. 23 people were killed. Almost 150 people were injured. So a lot of civilian casualties as well. People are on the edge, and many are worried that an attack like this, they're just going to recur, because it is a spillover from the Syrian conflict. Undoubtedly, it was a message to the Iranian government for its political support of the Syrian regime, as well as its logistical support to the Syrian regime. Its local ally in Lebanon, the Lebanese Shia armed group, has come under attack in recent months because their forces are fighting in Syria. In fact, just a few days ago, the Secretary General of Hezbollah, Hassan Nasrallah, addressed addressed his supporters and said there is a security threat and that threat is real, telling his people to expect more attacks. And it seems by attacking civilians, the popular base, the support base, what the enemies of Hezbollah are trying to do is turn the people against them, because at the end of the day, it is the people who are the last line of defense for a group which is increasingly becoming isolated in the Arab world.
Okay, Zeina, many thanks for bringing us the scene.